They say hip-hop beef is part of the culture, but sometimes it becomes something darker. This wasn't just about competition or bragging rights, it was about pride, pain, and loss. It's the story of two artists who turn their emotions into ammunition. Two worlds, NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk, whose words carried weight far beyond the studio. This is the story of how one lyric started a war.
Hip-hop has always thrived on conflict, rap battles, diss tracks, clashing egos. But what happens when those battles stop being verbal and start feeling personal? Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy were two of the biggest young stars in the game, both built from the ground up. Both came from cities soaked in struggle, Chicago for Durk, Baton Rouge for YoungBoy. Each one carried the streets with him, in his voice, in his pain, in his pride. At first, there was mutual respect, two self-made hustlers at the top of their lane. But behind that success, there was tragedy waiting to unfold. A tragedy that would split the industry and make every lyric sound like a threat.
It's songs. Laughing, but I'll shoot you in your sheet.
It all traces back to November 2020, when King Von, Lil Durk's friend, brother, and label mate, was shot and killed outside an Atlanta nightclub. In the chaos that followed, fans connected the dots. The opposing side allegedly included someone from YoungBoy's camp. Even if YoungBoy wasn't directly involved, perception became reality. The internet decided this was Durk versus YoungBoy, and that's when things got dark. Suddenly, every lyric from either artist was treated like evidence. Every tweet became a coded message. Durk didn't immediately respond. He was grieving, quiet, focused, and watching. But fans knew one thing: Durk never lets disrespect slide. When he finally came back to music, he didn't say names, but he didn't need to.
Lil Durk drops AHHH. From the very first bar, you could feel it. It wasn't rage, it was control. Calm, confident, dangerous. The song didn't call out YoungBoy by name, but every line felt like a shot straight at him. Durk said things like, "Niggas acting like they really like that since my Brody died." It was grief mixed with fire, subtle but sharp. And the streets knew exactly who he was talking about. The music video added fuel. Durk rapped in the snow, flexing, smiling, like he knew the world was watching. Fans took to Twitter instantly claiming, "This is a message to YoungBoy's camp." But Durk didn't stop there. He was making a statement, not just to YoungBoy, but to the world. "I'm still standing. I'm still bossing up." That was the spark. And YoungBoy? He wasn't about to let that slide.
They really don't mean it. He play it in songs.
Only days later, YoungBoy responded with a diss so raw, so direct, it stopped hip-hop cold. The track, I Hate YoungBoy, and from the opening seconds, it was chaos. No subliminals, no metaphors. He said Durk's name. He mentioned Durk's fiancé. He threw shots at OTF, Gucci Mane, Lil Baby, everyone associated with Durk. It was nuclear. Fans were stunned. Some called it the most disrespectful diss since Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. Lines like, "I'm real slime, you niggas can't relate," or his mocking tone when referencing Durk's losses. It was venom, not just competition. And yet it worked. Within 24 hours, the track was trending worldwide. YouTube flooded with reactions, bar breakdowns, who's winning the beef debates. YoungBoy had taken the gloves off and people loved it. It was controversial, yes, but it was also career-defining. He positioned himself as the outlaw of modern rap, fearless, isolated, untouchable. And that's when things got deeper than lyrics.
YoungBoy, they gon' kill you. You better stop dissing them. Tell them niggas fuck them, man. They know that I ain't scared of them.
After those two songs, the beef went underground, but it didn't cool down. Instead, both artists started sending coded messages through their music. Durk would post pictures throwing up subtle signs. YoungBoy would drop songs with strange timing, often right after Durk's releases. Fans became detectives. Every lyric was studied like a puzzle. Was Durk saying "we ain't the same" to flex or to send a warning? Was YoungBoy's "bring the hook" a diss or just coincidence? Then came the now infamous "Why Be Better" movement. Durk's team allegedly rented a billboard in Baton Rouge, YoungBoy's own turf, that read simply, "Why Be Better?" Fans turned it into a meme. It became a chant, a taunt, a battle cry. For YoungBoy's supporters, it meant domination. For Durk's, it was an insult, a challenge. That simple phrase transformed into a cultural symbol. Comment sections, live streams, interviews, all flooded with "Why Be Better?" It was bigger than the artists now. This wasn't just music beef, it was tribal loyalty.
Post about it. Bitch, I got like 30 mil, my mind gone.
The most chilling part of this feud? It started to feel too real. Concerts got canceled, promoters backed out, even festivals were hesitant to book both artists on the same lineup. Behind the scenes, security tightened. Bloggers whispered about tension in cities where both had connections. Fans speculated that something bad might happen if they ever crossed paths again. It wasn't just words anymore, it was energy. Tense, unpredictable energy. And while both rappers continued releasing music, you could feel the distance and the caution in everything they did. Industry insiders claimed other artists were quietly picking sides. Some stopped collaborating with one or the other. Even big names like Drake and Lil Baby avoided comment. The feud had outgrown the music. It had become part of hip-hop history, and part of a dangerous culture where success and survival are always connected.
By 2023, both men had evolved. Durk was becoming more business-minded, securing partnerships, expanding OTF, and stepping into a leadership role for his city. YoungBoy, on the other hand, leaned deeper into isolation. Under house arrest, he built his empire online. He dropped multiple albums from his home, each one hitting the charts like a statement. You don't have to like me, I still run this. Their careers mirrored their personalities. Durk, strategic, collaborative, image-conscious. YoungBoy, rebellious, unpredictable, fiercely independent. They were opposites, but that's what made their rivalry legendary. Even without speaking directly, their presence defined the culture. Every time one released a project, the other's name trended. Every silence was read as a message. In many ways, their competition kept both at the top. It was toxic, sure, but it was also fuel.
Oh, open it up. Open it up.
Today, both artists have distanced themselves from open conflict. No direct disses, no public taunts. But the fans, they're still at war. The YoungBoy better meme hasn't died, it's evolved. Durk's fans counter with OTF forever, and online debates continue daily, over numbers, lyrics, influence, and legacy. It's a modern-day rap Cold War. And like any Cold War, silence doesn't mean peace. For both men, the beef has become a shadow. It follows them into every interview, every release, every headline. Even when they try to move on, the culture keeps pulling them back. That's the danger of being great in an era built on conflict. You can win the charts and still lose your peace.
When you step back and look at the bigger picture, this wasn't just about Durk or YoungBoy. It was about how powerful words can be, how emotion, grief, and pride can create ripples that move millions. In another timeline, they might have been collaborators, two of the most influential artists of their generation. But in this one, they became rivals, each lyric shaping how fans, cities, and even the industry saw them. Their story is a reminder, in hip-hop, your words are currency, but they can also be a curse. Because one verse can build your empire, and one bar can start a war.
This was The Lyrics That Started It All, YoungBoy and Durk's deadliest bars. A story of power, pride, and pain, told through the art of hip-hop. If you felt the energy, subscribe to TeaCity for more stories behind the beats, where music meets mystery, and fame meets fate. Because in this game, every lyric has a cost.
Young boy, they gonna kill you. You better stop. It's songs.